Checkpoint and chill.
Oh guys, the Groovy Mule, Mr. Binary Numb,
I'm an Xbox Elite controller.
Mr. Wigan 1984,
What a knob.
Mr. Elvinrush,
Oh no, my beer's gone everywhere.
and Mr. Trunks.
Sure you drink tons of pineapple juice before.
Welcome to DZR. Checkpoint and chill.
Right,
You're muted. Oh, you join in as someone else?
live.
Watch. Womp womp.
We're live, by the way.
That's
We're just
good.
sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah,
Isn't
when
it-
I
is
said
the
no,
Are you
Yeah, but-
are you playing?
Isn't the track playing?
I
it's all, we're live right now.
are we supposed to play?
No.
Okay.
Got excited then.
So the intro is finished.
Everything's done.
Oh, beautiful. All right, let's do it. Welcome to Checkpoint and Chill. Oh, that's the cue for all the awkward, sexy music.
I don't know
thought
what's
you'd
going
got-
on.
Marco's
I thought all the
out.
awkward and sexy covered girls.
Guys, welcome, of course, to the inaugural, the second Checkpoint and Chill, the second of many, I think, because I think we enjoy this. And of course, I'm Ogaz. You might remember me from last week's awkward Simpsons donkey reference that I won't repeat. And of course, more importantly, on the left there is I was going to call you Mr. Donkey Ham. I don't think he'd like that, but I'll call you Binary because Binary works. How are you, Binary?
I'm very well, Gaz. Got a beer. It's been smoking hot today. Barbecue.
It is, man.
Oh, it's good. In the
Yeah.
words of Golden Boy, let's do this.
Let's do this. Give me a shotgun and a shovel. That's what you gotta say, right?
That
What are
is
you drinking? What are you drinking? What's your flavour?
I am drinking some Heineken,
Ooh.
but I do have actually some Dutch cherry beer in the fridge. But I was thinking of saving that till tomorrow. But
Isn't Heineken Dutch?
it is, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think-
Amsterdam.
I think that's, there we go. And I am
There we
here
go.
with
One Dutch for another. Of course, I'll get to the other regulars because we're all important. But a very, 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 very special guest on the show. We, of course, you know his voice. You've seen his YouTube clips. You've seen his expertise, knowledge on the division. And we are very, very pleased to have Mr. MarcoStyle. How are you, my friend?
it's also hot in here. I'm almost melting. But hey, one thing, I specifically put on clothes for this podcast, so
Good.
that's very
Uh,
nice.
You don't do you have pants on though? You don't. You may not have pants on. We don't know.
No. We don't talk about that in here. No.
Let's not groom the 14-year-old.
That's why I got too crazy. I mean, a t-shirt is one thing, but a pants, that's like next level. We're not doing that today. This was gonna be more laid back, I was told. Nothing too serious, so no pants needed.
They don't call it pants off party time for no reason, man. This is, I've got a jumping castle. I got no pants on. It's who knows what's gonna happen. God. All right. I'm gonna move on though. Elvinrush, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, not so bad. Coming back
Yeah.
from the brink.
The angle you've got on yourself right there is rather it's bombastic.
Look, it's on my knee. What do you want me to do? I'm not holding it up.
That's what I mean. Like it looks like we're looking up at you. Like no.
Dramatic zoom.
Yes. Well, that's
You are
good.
looking up at me.
Yeah. Yep. And we appreciate all angles of Mr. Elvinrush. What have you been doing this week, mate?
More of the same. DZ, and then Thursday's update, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. And then I was
Yeah.
like stabbing myself with like this stylus. Just that was like, from Thursday onwards. That's what it was like. But yeah, apart from that, nice.
And speaking of dysfunctional personalities, Wigan,
Cheers, mate.
1984 is also with us. A little bit less dysfunctional, maybe.
Yeah, I just can't get the mental image out of my head of you jumping up and down on that bouncing castle with your pants off. It's just ruined me.
The helicopter? Yeah, you do it all the time.
Oh my god,
Oh God.
that's killed me.
And you've have you been mixing and matching your play routine because of Underground and whatnot? You've been sort of hanging on PS4 and you've been just getting around. Is what I hear.
Yeah, well, I switched to the PC to get the Underground DLC content, and then
Yeah.
realised that I was just spending my time in the Dark Zone on PC, which I can do better on PS4.
Mm.
So I jumped back to PS4.
He missed me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the PC, being on PC is great, but within 3 hours of being back on PS4, I was already doing a 7-man DZ run, getting 268s and 229. And I just don't get that on PC.
We're just not so communal with PC people. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
What do you have to say about that, Marco?
I don't really mind. We don't really listen to the voice of the pheasants.
True.
I pitched that,
PC Monster
to
Race.
you with the hope you would come back with that, and you followed through.
That's it.
Dear.
Assistance scored.
But I did know, yeah, the one thing I noticed the big difference was, I think I said this to Binary a few weeks ago, was not having the auto run key, Marco. That when you hit X and you just let it run,
Yes.
that's gold. Like, you don't, on the console, that's the only weakness, one significant weakness I can find. Everything else is exactly the same.
The auto run feature is a must-have.
Yeah.
I would not play this game if it didn't have an auto run feature. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah. I was getting very angry with my Xbox Elite controller. Binary, you wouldn't be very happy about that, but I was getting very angry with my Elite controller. I abused it. Have you ever abused your Elite controller, Binary?
Have I ever abused it?
Yeah.
Did you say have I ever abused my controller?
His controllers abused him.
That's right. Your controller did abuse you, right? Because you,
did.
as we know, famously, can you retell? You fell asleep with on the trigger?
No, I didn't fall asleep. I put the controller down on the arm,
Right.
and my under paddles were configured, and it just happened to be that one of them was configured to the delete button. So, yeah, I completely lost 3.5 months worth of work.
And
There is no way. There is no way that actually happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
It's a true story. Yeah.
True story.
Um,
But I have
What's
to do a
even
big,
better?
yeah, I was
Yeah,
about
this
to
is
say,
amazing.
I have to do a big shout out to Ubisoft support, is that they restored my character. So if you ever do lose your character, open a support ticket with Ubisoft, and plead ignorance, and they will bring it back to you within 72 hours.
And if they don't,
And if you don't, then unlucky. You weren't as
They really
important as me.
just gave your items back, or did they like put your...
No, they put my character back to the moment it was deleted.
Yeah.
DZ rank the same. Currency.
DZ rank, all my funds, all my inventory, everything.
Yeah.
Exactly the same as when I lost it.
So basically, in the ticket, you must have put, "I'm kind of a big deal."
That's what I
yeah.
was
You
thinking.
must have put that, you know. I don't know how
You
to
just
put
put
this.
that Will Ferrell picture. Yeah.
But yeah, so I the one win out of it was I now learned that Ubisoft support is actually pretty good. Their Twitter support is not so good. They told me hard luck, but actually opening a support ticket they were really helpful, responsive. It was great. And then during the 3 days it took to get it back, I also built an alt up, which is now a complete skill build. So I have to do another big shout out to the DZR community for helping me do that. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something special. When you mentioned it, I think most of the people on our Discord just went, "What?" Like I actually thought you were telling Porkies. I don't think they really thought you were going to get it, or we thought maybe you'd get a reset to, I don't know, maybe patch 1.2 or something else. Certainly not a live reinstatement of it. So that was very cool.
It's kind of weird how they can just do that. Just get your character back.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It must have been stuck in the recycling bin. They haven't emptied it during that day.
Yeah,
So just drag it back. Easy.
They just did Control Z.
Yeah.
I was, in honest, I was expecting like a, before the maintenance where they probably obviously back up their entire database before they do maintenances and stuff like that. So I thought I was going to at least lose maybe a week if they were going to bring it back worth of progress. But it was literally brought back to the exact same. All the funds were the same. Amount of division tech, everything.
There you go. So it's been a fruitful week for a lot of us in the room, which is good. I think we've been busy playing games, playing some Division. Has anyone been playing anything else other than Division this week? Just out of curiosity, any other
Red
activities
Redemption.
you've been engaging in?
Red Dead.
Red Dead's on the Xbox One.
Ooh, sure is, baby. Have you been? I took John Marsden off the shelf. I said this in the last podcast, but sorry if I'm repeating myself. But it was very exciting to take John Marsden off the shelf, put it in the Xbox, and to play Red Dead again. Oh man, do you like it still, Binary?
Oh, it's like reliving the glory days. Yeah, it's brilliant.
And it feels good still, right?
Yeah, it does still feel good.
Yeah.
Oh, they did such a good job with that game. I so wish they had announced the new version, a new rendition of it at E3, but they didn't. Oh, it's such a good game.
The gunplay is tight. Even I was watching a rendering of an upload of Red Dead from 6 years ago, and I think Digital Foundry they upscaled to 1080p a segment that they captured, like a time lapse segment from the game from 2006, and you can check it out on YouTube now if you're bored. But not right now because you're watching us. But it was awesome. It was truly something really special, and it looks great even today. So yeah, if you've got the chance and you haven't checked that out, check it out again. Or of course, as Pretzel said last time, he could just pull out his PlayStation 3 and just play it. So that's true. You don't have to do back compat and all that stuff. If you've already got it there, go for it.
I played the Total War Warhammer for the PC.
Ooh.
I've been playing that. That's awesome game. Really is good.
That sounds like a marriage of perfect licenses, right?
It really is.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Total War. Man, I've been playing that since Medieval 1, way back in the day. But you combine that with, I don't know a lot about Warhammer, but I mean, does that tabletop experience convert really well?
I don't know a lot about it. This is my first introduction to Warhammer, so I'm just kind of learning what all the different factions are and what they're doing. But it's a good introduction for me on it. But no, I'm enjoying it. Sink some hours into that and onto the PC and back onto the PS4 and the Division.
Nice. Elvin, you've been stuck in technology land, playing with cams and twits and tweeters and twitches, and between that and Division, that's probably been most of your time, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I find that I'm a bit incompetent with most things. I used to be quite good, but these days I get stressed before I solve a problem.
Marco, what about you? I mean, do you flirt with other things, or because your investment and your expertise around Division, do you find?
No, I
that
play
you have
other
time?
games. I actually there used to be a time where I played Heroes of the Storm on a very competitive level. That was just before December, and then I quit because of course the Division came close to release, and I had to prepare with my YouTube and stuff like that. Didn't have much more time to practice. I had a team that I practiced with basically, but that kind of went over. But yeah, recently I've been getting back into Heroes of the Storm. With the Division, it's fun, but not for the whole day. So I've been doing that. Besides YouTube videos, of course.
Keep it busy.
That's basically it.
Yeah.
I play 2 games.
And no doubt with 1.3 and of course Underground and Dragon's Nest dropping, we've certainly had some conversations in our last podcast. I think it only had just dropped, so we were still. I think I just finished the Dragon's Nest incursion the day before. Half of us in the room had only flirted a little bit with it on PC. A big represent from the Discord community, of course, is PlayStation 4. and of course we were keen to obviously talk about things, but also work out what they how they're benefiting from 1.3, and I suppose what they can expect to see with some of the refinements when the Incursion and Dragon's Nest and the additional content finally does drop on August 2nd. And I guess what we were curious about, we had a few questions, I guess, for yourself, Michael. I had a couple that I was interested in, just in terms of your experiences and whatnot, and I think the other guys here do as well. So we'll just bounce that around to start with, and see where that takes us, and then talk about some last things at the end, and maybe we'll address some Twitch questions and whatnot towards the end of the cast as well.
Okay.
But Marco, the first thing, my notes here, my team is falling, man. I've been with the team on PC since launch. They're done. They jumped in the underground and they said, "Gaz, I'm done, man." So I think I've lost 2. Help me out, bro. What do I tell them? What can I say to them? How do
I don't
bring them
know
back?
really. I think the major drawback from the underground are the rewards. Like a lot of people don't like the underground because you only get blind and firecrest, and those are the gear sets that are not very well designed. They're not very good. They're situationally okay, but that's pretty much it. And so if you want to get good gear again, you have to like repeatedly do Falcon Lost. I've no joke. Since the 1.3 patch came out, I've done Falcon Lost and Heroic probably over 80 times right now. We do get really efficient runs, probably take around 15 to 20 minutes now to do one, sometimes longer. We do still get wiped sometimes, so that also adds up. But and then of course a lot of Dark Zone. I've done Dragon's Nest Heroic about 10 times, but it's mainly just Falcon Lost because the loot is so much weighted there, and I wanted to get that that tactician build, which I completed now. Spoiler.
I saw that.
I'll be putting a video about all of that tomorrow. It's something I've been working on for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the underground is not doing it for people because they can't gear up. It was supposed to be the alternative for the Dark Zone.
Yes.
But it isn't really, right? It's the Dark Zone is like the underground on steroids with compared with the loot and stuff like that. So I don't know what do you think about the gameplay, the actual gameplay, the missions themselves, how they're structured? Because that's something that I don't hear a lot of people talk about. To me, they're just somewhat longer side missions, like protect this JTF soldier, destroy these supplies, kill a boss. That's it. And I don't know. It wasn't something special for me. I'm rank 15 right now. That's it.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. I'm around 14. Binary, obviously on Xbox have been playing with it as well, as much as probably I have, and certainly as much as Marco has mentioned there at his rank. I mean, what have you found that? I mean, what is that story? Now we've had some time for it to sink in. If you remember, I was really pumped. I was really excited because I like the idea of these randomized activities that
I knew that this was coming. I wasn't too excited for it, and I also on purposely waited with my quote-unquote review on my YouTube so that any initial hype or excitement that I may have had would have worn off by then, so that I could give a proper opinion and review about it. Because that's usually a thing, right? A lot of people they release a video about it on the first couple of days, and then everything is new, everything is awesome, and then it comes across as something that is way better than it actually is going to be for most players. I feel like now that we're 2 weeks in, everybody starts to see that the underground is really not all what they wanted. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah, no. I think you're a voice of the people for many reasons. I think that's one of them. Binary, what are your sit on underground and whatnot? Since you've got that character back, you've been able to explore things.
Yeah, so I'm sitting at I'm sitting at rank 18. I've not even hit 20 yet. So I rely on everyone else to be able to get phase 2 or phase 3 missions. When I was for the first 10 rank ups, I was really enjoying it. It was great because you get those underground caches frequently. It's just a new experience.
That's another thing.
Yeah. Now, it's a little bit. It's really, you have to grind, right? But it's not expansive enough to be an enjoyable grind. It's
side missions in a nice environment. That's it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like the environment looks good. I mean, the art team did a good job on that for sure. But I mean, it's all stuff that we have already seen before when we played the main storyline, the main story missions. There's nothing new here, and the only new mechanics, you know, that this orient or disrupt station that you can shoot that will disable your skills. You know, that's a fun mechanic because in some cases you got to search it. You don't necessarily know where it is if you got a directive that disables your minimap. You know, that's fun. But then they've added stuff like disrupt bullets, which just adds crowd control on top of the damage that the NPCs already had. There's no new mechanic there. It's just, hey, we added this. It's now more difficult, and I don't think that they've done a lot to make the gameplay more interesting. It's everything that we've already seen before in a nice environment, basically. But you know, that's not going to cut it for most people. Yeah. And then the caches, as you said, they're nice. But then once you are rank 40 and you can't level up anymore, that's it. No more rewards, and you have to rely on the the heroic 3-phase sets to get more rewards. And those are only Firecrest and Blind. It's really bad.
But I suppose the good thing about it is with the loot drop is that that's something they can easily change. They've changed that from loot 1.0. They've changed it to 2.0, so that's within their grasp to change that, and hopefully they'll increase the amount of rewards from the underground, because I think I'm at rank 20 now in the underground on PC, and as I said, the best stuff for me is in the DZ. So if they want people to play that and bring people back in on the underground, then I think that's the way to do it. Increase the reward.
Or change the rewards. Like have a way to choose what type of gear set you wanna get as a reward. Because, I mean, it's not just a problem with the underground, right? You're doing Falcon Lost because of the reward, but you're still not doing Clear Sky or any of the other endgame activities. It's just because of that weighted reward, and I do get why they're doing it, because otherwise it would be really hard. Like, let's say everything dropped with the exact same rate on every single location. It would be really hard to farm specific items, because the chance of actually dropping something that you like, it would be even lower because there's so many variables. This is a way to target specific gear sets. But what I would like to see is that at the beginning of every end game activity, such as incursion or heroic mode, underground, that you can take a couple of boxes. I wanted to either drop sentry, Firecrest, or Predator's Mark, and you have to select at least 3. So there's still enough RNG for it to be a bad drop. Nothing will change, and you can play every activity while still getting every reward in the game that you want. I think that would be a solution to give players a lot more variety in how they want to play the game and what activities they actually want to do. Doesn't force a specific thing, because I myself, I'm just sick of Falcon Lost. I'm so done with that. And I fear that if they do not change this, and patch 1.4 comes out, and we get gear score 292, a gear set item, so to speak, then you have to do Falcon Lost on an even higher difficulty, and you have to do it again another 80 times to keep the build that you want, Larry. Like, that's just...
I'm laughing, but you just know that's going to happen.
It's horrible.
But that's the thing that you have to do to be like, quote-unquote, competitive in the DZ. And obviously, it's just that's just not the way to go. It makes the game very repetitive, and...
You don't have to do it 80 times, Marco. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. If you want... Like, it's a loot-driven shooter game, right? So it's about theory crafting a build that you want and then trying to realize that build. Otherwise, what's the point of even doing all these endgame activities? I mean, if I play Dragon's Nest on hard mode, then I've got the whole experience. I mean, doing it on challenge or heroic mode doesn't add anything to the story. It doesn't add anything new. So I already know what I'm going to do. If I didn't care about builds or loot, I'd just play everything once or twice on the easiest difficulty, and I got the whole experience, right? So loot has to be a part of the game, and therefore you have to be willing to do those things so many times. I would just like to do Falcon Lost 10 times, Clear Sky 10 times, Underground 10 times, Dark Zone a couple hours, and then have everything instead of Falcon Lost 80 times. It's just maybe even a high value target. Who knows?
Yeah.
Switch it
and
up.
Just so, and obviously for people that don't realize that, if you're listening, of course, the focus there is the weight of a certain loot drop over another in terms of priority that you're referring to in the loot table, and that's why you're pushing FL so significantly.
Yes.
For tank. tactician in particular.
Yeah, for tactician in particular. Like, if you want tactician, the only way to reliably, quote unquote, reliably farm it, because it's still not reliable. The thing is, I'm always playing with a pre-made squad, like dedicated players. Everybody wants to have something different. So if I get sentry, I give it to my friend. If they get tacticians, they give it to me. So now imagine 4 people doing Falcon Lost 80 times. So you're basically rolling the dice for, what is it, like 240 times. Only after that you have to build what you want. Because every tactician piece that was good, that my friends got, even if it was a god roll, they've given it to me. So you really got to have a group that's willing to do that as well. Like, and it's vice versa as well. If I get sentry, I'll drop it to him. But for a lot of people, that's also not the case because they play with a couple random players from the Discord server, right? Everybody's just looking to, gear up in something, and they're not going to give away their god rolled item. So it's even going to make it harder to, do that kind of stuff.
I do. I give away my good roll.
You do?
God roll stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fucking bollocks.
Well, I know.
So I fucking do. You can put something out.
I'm just saying, the vast majority doesn't. The vast majority doesn't, especially not if those people matchmake,
Yeah,
it's like random players. No, you're not getting my gear.
No.
I'll just keep it, and even if it's bad, I'll just sell it. That's the mentality that everybody has in this game if you're not in a pre-made squad all the time.
Elvin, would you think that Ronnie Pickering would share his items?
I'm gonna post it out, but no, here.
I think he's just misunderstood.
Do you remember my name?
What's your build? Like, what do you run?
Who, Moy?
The one who said he would give away his got rolled gear.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
All right, so
The one.
the one.
Binary.
So I've got a bit of a mongrel actually. So I run 2-piece sentry, two lone star, and 2 final measure. And then I do go full sentry, depending on which team I'm running with, just for the damage.
So let's say you get a tactician's vest. It's capped on pretty much every stat. It's perfect in every way, except for maybe one reroll. You would give that away just like that to a random player?
Yeah, I don't need it. I'm sitting at 500k toughness, 250 DPS, and 20k skill. I'll happily. I'm comfortable with my build at the moment.
I feel like a lot of players just hog up on a lot of different gear sets because who knows what they might change next patch. Like suddenly next patch Striker's the new thing, and then if you already have 4 god rolled Striker pieces, you can just put them on.
To be fair, I struggled, right? So when they did when the 1.3 came out, and there was the nerf to Sentry and Striker, I've struggled.
You did?
And it's taken because I had my DPS dropped by about 70k. So it took probably 2 weeks just to get my DPS back. But if it's not the build I'm looking for, if it's anything but those 3 sets, then I'll just give it away. I'm not bothered.
No, wow, that's not something that you see a lot. Let's just say it like that.
Well, Marco, is that I think Binary's sort of, to be fair, he's not going from 650 to 689 toughness, and I guess sort of trying to focus on how, because you've been very almost mathematical. I've been watching when you update your Twit feed and you update the latest photo, and even just with the latest videos, the methods in which you're trying to attain that golden 700 number has been rather impressive. And I guess maybe Binary hasn't had that in his mindset. Maybe that might be the difference. I don't know.
No.
I'm not doing it for. I guess I do it for the. I don't have much time to play, so when I do play, I'm just doing it for the enjoyment of the people I play with.
I can understand that.
So I think that's the only reason why I get enjoyment from other people having a good time. So
which goes back to that point before. That's what I'm in that situation now where as I said, two of the 4 of our group, which have been pretty tight from the beginning, they're just starting to wane because of Underground. And look, we've talked a lot about Underground and whatnot, but obviously 1.3 in general has had some obviously conversations that we should talk to. And Marco,
can you hear that dog in the background?
Yeah.
Okay, then let me shut my window. It's gonna get even hotter in my room now because
his top's coming off.
Once he starts, he never stops. I swear. It's just for when I record, I have to close the window. So give me Give me a couple seconds here. It's
Yeah, man.
He's gonna
Well,
get. He's gonna
that-
get
that-
tight.
That almost turned into another bird incident, man.
I was hoping we'd hear him in the background going, "Shut the fuck up, you."
great. And now my computer is gonna heat up the whole room, and it's gonna get even hotter here. Welcome.
Turn down your overclock.
I don't even have an overclock, man. I don't want to mess with that GPU.
Yeah, no, you can't afford to have a crash when you're trying
No.
to get your gear up.
No,
You don't
I
want to
can't
crash.
afford to not play for a day.
I just can't believe. I remember, we were listening to your, you had a great cast, of course, with another one. It's just, I think your second one you've done with Breezy Peasy,
Yes.
Arix, and of course Skillup.
Yeah.
My fellow Australian brethren, Skillup. You're a good lad. But it was interesting. I think one thing that we took away from that it was an hour podcast, and you could really see the opinions, and I think to a certain extent your opinions in that cast, I think are a little bit polarizing. I'm not sure if necessarily for them necessarily all agreed with everything you had to say, but I think I mentioned earlier.
That's what makes a podcast interesting, right? If everybody agrees
That's
with each
right.
other, then
That's
you know,
right.
it's like, oh, no, but
But it was for a good reason, right? I think I actually agree with you a lot with a lot of the things you were talking about in terms of the questions around Underground. But 1.3 in general has hit. We've seen obviously the patch update last week on Thursday with the transition for the changes to the DPS in terms of damage in the Dark Zone.
yes.
And I guess I haven't had a lot of time, the DZ, since Thursday to really. I mean, I've seen a lot of people on the Discord have been asking about it, sort of thinking. So I think it was Woodsy mentioned. Oh, last night he logged on and said, "Oh man, I just, I'm struggling with the new model in the DZ, and I'm not sure what impacts. I mean, I expected some impact, but I expected a positive impact. They tweaked the numbers, by my understanding, in terms of the damage, of course, that you're outputting in the DZ. I think by a margin of about 20%. Has that had?
Not really true. Basically, there's a separate PvP modifier. So let's say pre-patch, the damage that you were doing was multiplied by 0.37%. So let's say every bullet that would hit for 1,000 on an NPC, it would only hit for what was it, like 600 something on a player? No, it's 300 something on a player. My bad. And they just upped that a bit. They upped that number by 20%. So it's not like you're going from 400 damage to 600 damage. It's more like you go from 400 damage to 480 damage per bullet.
Yes.
Something like that. Now I
I think the
obviously
modifier
run
is
around.
0.4, and now it's now 0.48. I think something like that. I remember.
Right, it's a little bit lower. The base was, I think, 0.37, but they just rounded up to 0.4, I guess, for the ease of calculation and stuff like that. But obviously, I'm running around with 700k toughness. I haven't really noticed any difference, actually. I haven't been noticing people hitting me hard. I've mostly been running a very annoying build to deal with. Basically, I run the flashbang sticky bomb, and then in the second one, I run the shock turret. And I go in, I put those two cooldowns, I run back, I triage, I do the same thing, and every 5 seconds they get a turret and they get a flashbang, and they can't shoot. So I haven't been able.
So your DPS is like what? 120 DPS, 130 DPS?
Yeah, exactly, something around
700.
that.
What's your skill? 30 something.
Yeah, 32k skill power.
Running that with shock turret and the stickies. Yeah, you would be.
Just flashbang stickies. I'm not doing their. I've been running like a disable build, basically not allowing the players to do anything.
I hate
so
you just listening to this.
my teammates they just run 2 heals with triage. So I drop the cooldowns. I run back and forth 2 times. I got them back, drop them again, and they can't use skills, they can't shoot, they can't move, that's it. That's game. Like so.
That's called rage quit, man. It's called rage quit, and you're doing it across the world to people.
No, it's just that I haven't been shooting much before the patch and after the patch because I don't do that much damage. And then people that have been shooting me have still not been able to kill me because I'm running around with 700k toughness. So it's I haven't noticed much about the patch at all. But I guess people drop other people faster now. I wouldn't be able to give an opinion on it. It's very insignificant the change, I think.
Yeah, I've not noticed it, to be honest.
No.
Either. I've not noticed a huge difference.
Oh, well, it's just me then, is it?
What happened?
Well, look.
Tell us your crime
Right.
story.
Oh, no, he's gonna get
Let's
drowned.
call this right. Let's just change the graphics. It's counselling session now, right? Because Wednesday, right? Pre 20% PvP buff, right? We did pretty much 3-man Midtown music. Not a problem. Just straight through it.
Yeah.
Thursday, 3 shots dead. I can't get up and stay up to shoot a turret before I get wiped. There's something happened. For me personally,
the NPCs didn't change. It's only.
I know that, but either everybody in my group just turned crap on Thursday night, or something's changed. Seriously.
Maybe you just had a bad server. If you have a bad server, then damage is being dealt in bursts because the tick rate it's very low. So whereas it would normally register the bullets as every single time, you would notice when you're being attacked. If you're on a laggy server, they could shoot at you, and then all the damage could not register for 2 seconds, and then in the next frame, all the damage that's being dealt to you in the last 2 seconds, it instantly hits. It's actually very, very common in the division. You usually see this well when you're shooting, no damage numbers, and then boom, all the damage numbers are there. That's actually, and that can happen to the NPCs to you as well. So maybe you just had a bad server, and then.
Yeah, but it's like every server since Thursday. Seriously.
I don't know. Maybe you just have bad luck. RNG servers to make the game even more RNG. Hey, what do you say about that?
I'm trying to.
I don't know. I haven't PvP wise. I haven't noticed a difference, but
Bastard.
But it's okay, Elvin. It's okay because the consolation is the consolation. Do you get it? The consolation is that you get the season pass drops, right? Did you pick up the new season pass drop?
Yeah.
It didn't help. I was excited about it before I got it. I was like, everybody realised that we was all gonna get all the new gear sets. Oh, exciting! Let's do ults all weekend.
I saw that. Everyone's like, let's get 10 ults.
Yeah,
Level 30,
I was
one
buzzing.
weekend.
Came back, got absolutely. Let's not use the phrase butt fucked, but that's how it felt. Let's cut that out and let's use.
Lone Star.
Let's call it disappointed.
It was a 268 set though. You got right. You got a 268 gear set from it.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything like it wasn't new. And then we went back in DZ. Seriously, look. I'm usually shaved. Look, I'm going to.
Depressed.
You thought that one supply drop was gonna change your life around?
No.
So,
I was hoping DZ was going to be better.
If Ubisoft listening, I don't think you're very happy with your free stuff. So we can just take it away from you. You don't have
Take
to have
it.
free stuff.
I think I dismantled it anyway.
Binary,
I think if they
Binary
gave
would
it too
give it
much, it
away.
would be a very much of a pay-to-win scenario. So I think it's good that those drops are just a nice little bonus. I don't think I want any more season pass bonuses. It's like please don't make it pay to win.
Yeah.
If there would be
Yeah,
a supply drop
that's a
like
good
that
point.
every single day, then it would people with the season pass. It would only be a matter of time before they got so much better gear than everybody else. It wouldn't be a good thing.
Yeah. I think I did a shop on one because I mean it's good to have something a little bit more because I mean I remember the first one they released was
Skins.
2 gun skins and I think 5 division tech I think it was, and I remember I thought
Hey,
the skin.
back then Division Tech was worth a whole lot. Remember that?
Yeah.
Whole Division Tech was the rarest thing in the
know,
universe.
The 2 skins, if I remember correctly, were like poo brown and plum. So a diverse range of the color palette had been offered for the first gun skin. I remember it well because I photoshopped it. I actually created one. I created the McDonald's gun, and it had the McDonald's logo, and it was red and yellow. And the second one was the KFC gun with the little, the KFC. Anyway, I thought it was
Finger
funny.
licking good.
It was finger looking good. But only time before sponsorship starts entering the game. Binary, what was that? Give me, flipping me off. Look, it's been fun, chatting away with 1-3, and then I guess being workout and talking about Marco, your experiences and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's well, we talked about 1.3 in terms of general and underground. We talked about incursion last week. I haven't really been back to incursion and in terms of Dragon's Nest or others. Do you guys want to talk about that, or do you want to sort of move on to maybe some question time with Twitch, or what do you feel?
We can do both. We can talk about Dragon's Nest briefly, and then we can go to.
Is this the one we can farm as well? I mean, you said you only done it 10 times, only 10 times, Marco. A bit disappointed.
You need to have somebody like me in the squad to farm that. Not because I'm a good player or anything. I actually suck at aiming and anything in this game whatsoever. But simply because I got that 700k toughness and a 90% EDR. The most difficult part of the whole incursion is those 4 horsemen. You got to take them out all at the same time, and they have a shit ton of health. And they, if you're not geared up, you're gonna die. But with my build, I can pop down smart cover, sit on a specific wall, and have all 4 of those bosses constantly shoot at me, and I just don't die. And then the rest of the team just sits back with the sniper on the other end of the parking lot, and they are just able to slowly wear them down. So yes, in that sense, it's farmable. We have a pretty good strategy now. I think runs still take about 20 to 25 minutes once we get that up. Like the last part, we kill the enemies, and then there's like 5 minutes of nothing because all the enemies are dead, but the game is still scripted to allow you to press those buttons after a certain given time. The last part is actually the worst part of the whole incursion. It's like sit back and wait to press the buttons. But yeah, I think this was the best incursion so far. I think everybody can agree on that as well. Multiple areas, actually feeding progression. Checkpoints, also good. And the 4 horsemen mechanic was really smart and clever, I think, compared to anything that's been done in the division. Nobody ever thinks about leaving them all alive with this splinter of health and then all taking them out at the same time. Nobody knew in the beginning that taking out the first one would spawn an infinite waves of engineers that would just crush you with those cars. It's really. I think that was a smart mechanic, and I hope to see a lot more of that in the next patch. But I can only hope. I don't know if you guys agree. I don't want to take up all the talking time on your show, but what are your thoughts? Too late? I'm sorry, man. You can interrupt me whenever you want. I'm listening.
Well, I guess, man. That's why we're here. Yeah. But Elvin, I mean, have you had a play on? Because you've been on PC a little bit. I haven't. Of course, without time zone differences, I've seen Wigan on a little bit on PC. Have you jumped into any of that material outside of Underground in terms of Dragon's Nest?
No, all I've done is Underground. I've got to something like level 14. Yeah. But no, I've not touched Dragon's Nest yet.
Oh. Just sitting there lonely.
I'm gonna open my window again because it's really, really hot in my room right now. It's like I'm burning. I hope the dog shuts up.
Yeah. What about you?
You've not done it at all, Evan?
Evan?
Elvin.
Evan? No, I've not touched it. I've not even gone to start it. Nothing, no.
That's actually not a shock, right? Because I've played with a lot of people, and the amount of times that I've gone to do it, and they've gone, I've not done it either.
No, because...
That's not an uncommon thing.
I
was quite shocked.
I'm curious.
Yeah, it's not, it's just, I don't know, I've pretty much only got to 14 because I was running through it on my own. Pretty much.
That also goes back to the point, though, that you don't need to do the incursion to get the gear.
What?
Which is a lot of people.
Yes.
You do need to do the incursion to get gear.
Which ones, though? Because all the gear I've got, and all the gear that I've wanted to get, I've just got from the Dark Zone. From supply drops in the Dark Zone. Or from sealed caches in the Dark Zone.
You've been very lucky. Or
the only set that I've never got.
What I see a lot of people happen is they say, oh, I kind of want to go for this, and then they get, by luck, 2 good rolls of this specific gear set, and then it's like, oh, you know what? I'll just go for that gear set. I think that's what I see a lot. People are just,
Yeah.
I got this, so I'll stick with this.
Which, to be fair, is the design. I think the intent behind Massive, right? I mean, that's what they want people to reconsider and think about the gear sets and think about the weapons they're using, and not be sitting on a Striker Sentry Vector Org M1A build.
I don't know. I just look at what's best on paper and what's best in practice, and I just go for that. And the rest, I don't know. But I guess I don't know. I think for that you really need to do the incursions. But
All right, so in that case, the only set that I don't have a full set of is Reclaimer. I don't even have one piece of that, and I've never had a piece of that.
Reclaimer.
Where do I go to get Reclaimer?
Dragon's Nest. Dragon's Nest. I guarantee you, if you play it once or twice, you'll get a Dragon's Nest piece.
Wow, I've done it 5. I don't have 1. I'm doing it wrong.
Really? Really? You must have gotten a lot of Deadeye then, because Deadeye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do have lots of Deadeye. Yeah, and I don't have a useful sniper rifle, and I'm not that I think Deadeye is that effective anyway.
It's really good for PvP, man. It's
Yeah.
really
for
strong.
PvP.
Yeah,
I don't
it
play
is.
much PvP.
You can't land headshots, so you're not gonna get the headshot bonus, and then having every shot be a crit, that's just you melt. You can just stand next to somebody, shotgun range, and just tick 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 M1A, bam, gone. It's good.
Cool, very cool. Binary, you were so you were saying before in terms of Dragon's Nest, you've been happy with the transition from 1 set piece to 3 set pieces, 4 set pieces, and being able to get that new feel, have a journey in the incursion, something different, not sitting in one place.
Yeah, I love Dragon's Nest. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I always keep saying, give me challenging and heroic on General Assembly, right? But Dragon's Nest is great. See, Marco agrees. Challenging and heroic on General Assembly.
Yeah. Challenging heroic on most missions, man.
Boom. There we go.
Just turn it on, yeah. Just hit the switch.
But no, Dragon's Nest was great. I really do enjoy it. I think they've got it the wrong way round. I think the truck should probably be first.
Yes.
And
I think the
build
truck
up
should-
to the 4 horsemen, because the 4 horsemen are definitely
I don't
much
think
harder.
the truck was not. It very.
You don't need it.
Hey, I agree. It's just I
Yeah, it
don't know.
wasn't
It's just
needed.
bad.
That whole room is just I quite like the whole thing where you have to simultaneously do the switches and.
What I would have really liked, what would have taken that room to the next level, is if they utilized the mechanic where you have certain areas that are lit on fire, and that would be a dead zone no matter what. So there would be different patterns, and then once every
You
so
had to
many
move.
patterns, you can actually get to different buttons in the room,
Yeah,
and then you can activate those in specific orders, and only that will activate it. And that would have made that a very, very interesting room, very difficult as well, because you couldn't just sit in the immunizer and that's it. But no, it's just oversimplified. I guess for matchmake groups to be able to complete it, which I'm a little bit disappointed about.
Yeah, the description I used was, what was it? The Zelda level. It actually just felt like I was solving it in a good way. Like it felt like I was doing something different with the Zelda puzzle, but also at the same time, as you say, it kind of it set itself up, but then it kind of got overly simplified or kind of lost, I think, its original intention. But yeah,
I think they marketed these incursions as something that only the best 4-man groups would be able to complete, while in reality they really oversimplified all of the mechanics so that even a random group of players that matchmake would be able to complete it if they play for a couple times. And I think that's just not a good thing. I would have really hoped that there's like a challenge, a very difficult mechanic, that once you get really good at it, you'll be able to do it faster, but not just increase the health and then that's it. It's, I don't know.
But that's what they're trying to do. That's what they've sort of tried to do by introducing heroic, though, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just increase the health bars. I don't think that makes the gameplay more interesting. It just makes it so that you have to shoot the guy for 10 seconds instead of 5. It's not going to change anything.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, and even with the way the incursion plan has worked, I think that I would argue that I actually had an easier journey as time went on. Like as I think I said last time, that Dragon's Nest, I literally finished at first go, and when we all finished, we were like, because we, for the other ones, for my group at least, we'd sort of worked up to it. We maybe spent 2 or 3 days before we actually got the first completion, and we felt
Really?
like we were learning and we were progressing. Yeah, we're not like you, Marco.
No, I
but you know, so there was a pattern of maybe 2 days of trial and error for us to get it right, and we weren't looking at YouTube, we weren't watching other people's strategies, we were just trying to learn it ourselves, going in blind. And when we did that with Dragon's Nest, we went straight through it, and then the boys went, oh, so what's the next content, guys? And I was like, Dark Zone? And they went, yeah, I'm done.
I think that's where the game falls down, where other MMOs kind of unlock wings every week. So if they'd done that with
Yeah.
this, you
Yes.
could have, you know, it could have been a simple mechanic, but you would have just wing one week, wing two the next.
You reckon that at the beginning of the game they should only have given us like 4 storyline missions, and then from that point every week
No.
just give them new ones and
No,
more
no.
difficult?
No, what I'm saying is, for this incursion,
Yeah.
what we've done should have been wing one, and wing two should have come out 14 days later, and would have rewarded us with better gear. And
What does Wing 1 and Wing 2 mean?
like a separate entity. So like this would have been the incursion part A, and then in a week's time it would have unlocked it, and providing you've done part A, it would let you into part B.
Oh, so it's like 2
So-
separate missions?
Yeah, so it slowly releases the content throughout the 4 weeks or the 8 weeks, instead of dumping everything on Gaz's party's lap on day one. He runs through it, and then that's it, game over. It's like, well, that's the end. Unless they're interested in the underground, which they're
Yeah,
not.
but then the
because
incursions
rewards
and
are shit.
individual missions are going to be really, really, really short, or you're going to be looking at creating more content per patch,
Yeah.
which is...
In time.
I don't know if they're going to be able
Yeah.
to do that. What I would want right now is that you just fix the game and just put everything else on hold. Just fix the bugs, try to balance out the game a bit more, because at the moment it's a complete mess.
Yeah, I do got to ask, like Marco, you made I think it was a 10, 15-minute video on some of those.
Yeah.
You're quite passionate, mind you, about some of those changes and things that you felt will significantly fix or improve the game, and often in many cases things that haven't even been hinted at in patch notes. So how has that video fared for you? Has it been like a success for you, or have you got lots of feedback from that?
A lot of people.
Or
I think a lot of people liked that I make the video. A lot of people share the opinion that the game right now is a little bit of a messy state. Of course, there's also people that say I should stop whining and just play with what we got. But I mean, if there's nothing to criticize, then how are you ever going to improve it? It's just it's gone to the point where I usually play a lot of 4v4s in the Dark Zone, right? We get an empty server, we go up to DZ06, we throw a grenade in the air. The moment the grenade explodes, we just try to kill each other, and then we do a lot of PvP practice that way. But basically, the last couple of times, it just came down to whoever's skills were bugged first died. It always came down to somebody dying because something didn't work, and it's got me really passionate and annoyed about that. They just fix it. It's so easy to fix. We've been able to reproduce almost every one of these glitches with a few exceptions, which we don't have the cost for. But I feel like at this point we're doing more QA testing than masters themselves. And I put a video putting out the most annoying ones, what causes it, how you trigger the bug. I think that should be so easy to fix if you know exactly when it happens and how it happens. And it just it just bothers me that it doesn't happen.
Yeah, you certainly put a lot of those challenges out on the line, and some of my, as I mentioned before, some of my mates would probably agree with you in some of those instances, and trying to work out the ways in which, as you say, it's not just content we're talking about, but just ways that in which you can tweak or fix. And I remember I said to my mate something like, "Oh, look, he's a project manager," and I said, "Dude, sit back for a moment. Imagine you're massive. Try and empathize for a moment. You're in that situation. Your last game before Division was Last Dance. You have worked on assets and materials for Far Cry 3. Your Division is really your first venture into this type of game. You want content right now. You want another incursion right now. You just finished the last one. It's probably not going to happen." And then he called me a massive sympathizer, and which is a bit of a pun as well, thinking about it. But
I think the game would be. I think this game would be a whole lot more fun and a whole lot richer if the bugs were fixed and if PvP was correctly balanced to the point where it's actually a cover-based shooter. If those two things were fixed, I think this game would still be very, very much alive and really so much more fun, even with the content that currently exists in the game. I think the the issues that it has, the balance issues, the bugs, the glitches, the random stuff that doesn't work is really holding it back really just so much.
But let's not just take it away though. Let's not. But you're still playing it, right? We're all still playing it. We're still part of a community that still plays it. So even though there are issues that we can definitely we know about. Your video is really good, by the way. I have to say it was really good. And I stood up for you in a couple of other servers actually who were saying it was a bit shit, but it was good. It was a good video, and I think it's important that Massive do take that stuff on. But the real fact is that we're all still playing it, right? We're here talking about it now, and I think that's only a testament of what a good game it is. I think the real bug comes from our dissatisfaction or our upset that it is not as good as our own internal thoughts may want it to be. But you can't take away that. I don't think the game's broken in any way. I just think that there's a few things that need working, and this is probably one of the biggest IPs Massive have worked on, right?
Yeah. But we're also still playing because we're kind of big fans of the game. We really like the idea. We really like the concept of a third-person shooter. There's also, for every one of us here that's still playing the game, there's also 5 other players that have moved on because of these things.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah.
So,
Where have they gone to?
They've gone to play Overwatch, any other thing. Like
Overwatch.
I don't know. Like it depends. I don't know what other people are playing, but
a lot of people who've gone to Overwatch.
Overwatch, Destiny.
I mean, we talked about this earlier right here. We just talked about how people here are losing their squads because people are not playing the Division anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, we are the hardcore fans. We want this game to rise and shine and be what it truly could be. But there's also a lot of people that don't have the patience for that or don't want to wait for that, and they just move on to different things.
Well, it's interesting because I've always run anywhere in the game purposely with an open group, so anyone can actually join, and usually it'll be someone from our Discord. And majority of the time, it will be someone who says, "Oh man, it's been absolutely like fun in the Discord because everyone at work who I used to play with has gone on to something else."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Almost every time. And I'm like, dude.
I mean, just look at the podcast. I mean, we had DZR doing the podcast, and what was it? 3 podcasts have folded in the last 2 weeks. So the groups are consolidating, I think. And the player base is getting smaller.
To our community, isn't it? Where you say like 3 have folded, and we actually expanded.
Well, look, I wouldn't be playing. I wouldn't be playing if it weren't for DZR. I just wouldn't.
I think that's the thing though, because there's not a lot of people playing anymore, and the hardcore fans are looking for ways to get a team together so that they can still play.
Yep.
So I think that's kind of connected because a lot of the casual players or the players that are less interested are leaving, and so just the players that still want to play are looking for players elsewhere. So I think that's the explanation for the growth that DZR has had a bit.
Yeah, and of course, if you're curious of what we're talking about, we are of course talking about the Discord community that we've created and have been grown over the last few months, and it's been very, very awesome. If you're not in it already, make sure you go to duckzonereport.com, click on the community tab, and you are there, my friend. Don't be afraid, by the way. We've got a lot more channels. We've got a radio station. We've got a lot of stuff going on in the community rooms, thanks to a lot of the hard work that Binary's been putting in. With a lot of our bots and automation systems that are underway, and it's actually pretty cool. But don't be maybe jump into general first, say hello, and let someone sort of show you the tour, if you like, because there's some very cool stuff going on in that place. Thanks, Binary. Love you.
Oh, that's great.
Binary Botland.
That's what it is.
There's something for everyone in that Discord. I think that's what we want, right? Something for everybody.
And Marco's there too, man. It's pretty cool. We'll be talking away, and then someone will ping Marco, and then like, bang, Marco's there, and he's talking about the Tactician build, and we're like, whoa, and people get starstruck, bro, when they're in there talking away, and they see Marco's name pop up in the thing. They go, holy shit, Marco's a member, and then Jokey and Nick,
no way.
Holy crap,
I haven't
Jokey
noticed
Nick's
that.
a member.
I haven't
Holy
noticed
crap.
it.
Brucey Peters is a member, so everyone's there. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's the same like.
Whatever.
And of course, when Wigan pops up, everyone goes, holy shit.
They do. Whenever I start typing, they all start saying, fuck, Wigan's typing. No, and they all run off. They all log off.
Yeah. there's lots of good banter and lots of good questions that come through the Discord, and of course it would be important for us to maybe talk to some of those and maybe address the Twitch questions and other things. There's lots of good stuff that gets spoken about. Byron,
forget the event.
Yeah, you wanted to do
Do you want to?
as
Do
well.
you want to talk to? Yeah. Do you want to talk to the event?
Do I want to talk? Yeah, I guess I can.
Do you think? Oh, before you do that, Barry, we've got a question for Marco before we move on from one of the Discord guys, Origami Train.
Let's
So
do
this
Q&A first.
Yeah. So this is for you, Marco.
That's what I was
Not
thinking,
for me. A whole section.
Is it a section? It's just one question I've got.
Oh,
It just
I was
says,
about to say.
it just says now that the gear pieces have fixed slots in them, as in mod slots, is there a new best in guide slot guide in the works? Because we've been using that a lot on our Discord.
I would say that some things have changed a little bit, but to be honest, I think it's like still 99% accurate. It's just because the actual rolls on the gear items, the amounts that you get relatively to each other, they haven't changed. Health is still rolled in very low amounts. Skill power is still rolled in such high amounts that skill haste and signature skill resource gain are never worth taking. It's just that I think the body armor has gone like an extra major, so to speak, because we have 2 mod slots and 2 majors now. But other than that, I really don't think that too much has changed with this patch. I am happy that mod slots are fixed now.
Yeah.
Not less RNG. Also good that the holster is always 3 stat helps as well. So yeah, that's a good thing.
And that was kind of by design, wasn't it? Really. I mean, I remember when I watched it originally, I did get that feel that this could live longer than it needs to right now in terms of the doesn't need. I mean, regardless of the changing in a gear set.
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of the idea of the video. Like
Makes sense.
And until they change up the values of how much skill power you're getting relative to whatever, then I don't think a new video is needed.
Yeah.
And I think I'll explain any minor changes that I'll make myself. I'll explain it in future build videos, which again, I got one coming tomorrow. So.
Ooh, teaser.
Nice.
So yeah.
That was it from me.
Okay.
All right.
I think if anyone in the chat has questions, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I know Susan 69's question.
Well, go on then.
So-
Spill the beans. It's obviously a good one.
Yeah.
So Susan 69 sent a question into the DZR mailbag and just wondered what cream you use on your skin, Marco, because it's rather smooth.
What? What skin do I use?
What cream do you use on your skin to have that like shiny glow?
What are you talking about? Oh shit! Oh, I was talking about weapon skins. Are you talking about my face?
Yeah, what weapon skin you using on your face, Marco?
I was like, what's he talking? About? I don't even use skins for my weapons.
I'm going with a brown tax myself right now.
Is it like that sweaty? I don't know. I'm not. Maybe I'm just. I don't know.
He uses
I think it's a screen.
grinds up children's bones and just.
There. It's a screen, man. It's a computer screen.
The tribal background. We don't see what's going on behind the screen. MarcoStyle.
There. I think it's less bad now. I don't know.
No,
Okay, I'll keep it like that, nice and shiny.
You have wonderful paws.
Thank you.
Oh, this is getting a bit. Checkpoint and uncomfortable.
Well, Susan 69 does ask another question. She wants to know what's everyone's Marco's. What's your weirdest sexual encounter while gaming?
Okay, so
I got a story for that.
you do?
No, hold on, whoa, don't, Marco. We're talking to you. Don't let him steal your limelight.
Marco.
Okay, so I was running around in the dark zone, just farming a little bit, and suddenly some guy comes up to me with this loud music through his VoIP, singing, "I'm a Barbie girl," and like that song, you know that one? And he comes up behind me, and he just starts pushing me in the back. And I gotta say that I felt a little bit humiliated at that moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm doing after this?
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Is
I
that a
remember
sexual
that.
encounter in the DZ?
Yeah. Molested.
Was it a female character?
I don't think it was. That's the worst part, though.
This really butch voice going, I'm a Barbie girl in your Barbie world.
Wow.
Wow.
That shake. That's good effect. That camera shake there. That was.
It was pelvic thrusting.
I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this. I
I'm
got
going all
something
in.
fun. When he did that, I was looking like this.
Well,
Marcus,
I've never had that
Marcus,
sort
they
of
practicing
stuff.
that.
Dramatic.
There you go. Yep.
Go on, guys.
Um,
What's your story? You can't leave it. Go on.
What?
Yeah, you gotta.
Is this
have a
going to be
follow-
an actual sexual encounter while he was
Yeah.
while he was
Wait.
gaming?
Two words. Halo fellatio. That's it.
Oh, delightful.
Drop the mic. Yeah. Binary, back to you. Is there any other City 69 questions?
I hope your wife watches this, because if she's not give you fellatio when you've been playing Halo, you're in deep trouble.
This is Halo 2, many years ago. Binary.
All right. Well, whoa. What are we moving on for? You can't drop something like that.
Marco's gone. We fucked him up.
No.
He's gone.
Marcus.
You just got a bit
Just
kind
walk
of
out.
messy.
Just walk out. Just fuck it.
Oh, no.
And I'm out. Yeah, City 69 Binary.
No, Susan 69 says she'll be back in a bit.
Okay. I've got a question for Elvin.
Oh yeah.
And it's from. Well, he sounds like he could be interested in donkeys.
Oh, yeah.
It says, how many of your kids believe in donkeys?
Well, Red knows how many kids, because he asked them directly. Just one.
Well, they
One's,
think it's a
one's
magical
well,
beast.
all of them. But one was having a deep conversation about donkeys with Red while I was gaming the other day. So he knows that one.
Mm.
And he's called Adam. And Adam asked Red whether he believed in ham.
Mm.
That's
Not even like funny. So it's really nice that he set me up with a really crap question, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not funny at all, really,
It's
is
not
it?
even. Where am I supposed to go with that?
Well,
It's
mean-
funny because it's not.
Yeah.
it's not funny.
Well, I mean, look.
We're
at
just
least I'm
waiting
not
for you to talk
fluffing.
yourself into a corner. We're just waiting for the story to
Yeah.
go absolutely
Usually,
nowhere.
Marco, usually I've spilled beer on myself by now, or you think I've been like fluffing people. Do you know what fluffing is, Marco?
I
Because
do
I
not.
didn't before these people.
No, I do not know what
Right, well-
fluffing is.
Right. So somebody on Discord said to me, not to go off track, said I was a fluffer. So I googled it, and I just got this general thing about somebody who works in the makeup department in the sex industry. So I was going
Do I
along
want to
with it.
Google this right now, or do I not
Well,
want to?
you need to Urban Dictionary it.
Google,
is what
Google
you need
image
to
it.
do. And a fluffer, I can tell you what it is. Well, we'll wait
Well,
for your
let's-
response.
no,
No,
let's
let's
zoom
wait.
in.
Let's wait.
It can zoom in when he
Yeah.
reads that word.
Read it out loud, Marco.
Hmm?
Read what you read.
I'm going to Google right now. Yeah, I'm going
Yeah,
to.
go on. We'll wait. Make sure you verbally express your opinion when you read it.
That cannot be a real thing. That cannot be a real thing.
I don't know. It was Pogo on Discord who said he knew all about it. So I don't know
Yeah,
what
he
he's been
started
up to. But
This
he
cannot be a real thing.
I've heard of that years ago.
Yeah. Well, you see, I mean,
You know, but I'm very closely connected to that industry, so
to fluffs.
Tell Marco to go incognito.
incognito.
So anyway, I
So
know.
I'm
there
always
is one
incognito.
question actually coming from Twitch.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. What would you use if Tactician got nerfed?
It said Elvinrush, but am I supposed to answer that?
Well, I think it's Everyone.
Everyone, yeah.
Hmm. How would it get nerfed though? In what way?
Well,
That's
I
the
think
thing that makes tactician strong is the fact that skill power rolls so high on rolls that are not electronics.
Yeah. Where you get like the 6,000
So what?
stamina one.
Yeah. So you can put everything into stamina. So what would get changed? The fact that skill power rolls so high. Because
Yeah.
would that be,
If you had to cap that to like only 2,000.
like if they would like skill
Same
it
as health,
properly?
right?
Okay.
what if they just nerfed you and said Marco can't use tacticians? He's not a big enough chip.
It's not big enough to.
You know what I'll
Right.
do?
So
I'll
they
go-
nerf you, and what do you do? What are you going
What
to play
would I
next?
do? I will do the exact same thing. I will run the exact same build, but instead of 4-piece tacticians, I would run 4-piece reclaimer or 4-piece sentry. Still all toughness, still all skill power, still sticky bombs. It's just a different thing. Actually, I think tacticians is not even the best for PvP because you never really hit your stacks. You can do the exact same build with sentries, have the exact same amount of skill power, still one-shot people with the sticky, but also be able to put on the mark to do more damage. It's not even the best for PvP, really.
I need Deadeye. I think Deadeye's up there, isn't it? It's got to be.
I don't know. I think that high can be good, but not with a lot of toughness. Because for Deadeye you need to spec a lot into critical hit damage. And so you're either neglecting skill power completely because you're gonna get the chance on the mask and the damage on the backpack, and then so you either spec into electronics or you gotta neglect it. That's what you've been trying to work on for the sentries. Yeah, it's a good thing. Try it out. I've already played with it. It's good.
Yeah, I like Sentry a lot. Sentry is really good too. But I might start being a bit more selfish with my Sentry pieces now, though. If I know I can run a decent
Stop giving shit away.
Yeah, man.
He's just got too much love to give, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I had a question. I was thinking about this during the week, and it was if you were an obstacle, any obstacle in any video game. All right. So if you were any obstacle in any video game, it could be a physical barrier, it could be anything that prevents progression in a video game, any of your choice. What would you be? Game obstacle.
My skills. And the biggest obstacle I've ever come across.
Elvin is his own obstacle.
And if not that, the wife.
Yeah, the wife. I was going to say the wife.
I was going to be the wife.
I've got one. I've got one.
Yeah.
100% Lone Star weighted drops on every mission.
Oh, God. I'm going to kill the feed. That's enough.
You'd have a lot of ammo, but you'd have a lot of ammo.
Who cares? Who wants it? You get 2 Lone Star, you're done, aren't you?
Yeah.
I got 2 Lone Star for the restock, just for the restock.
Yeah. Put it on restock, take it off.
Yeah, exactly.
They need to
I was
stop
thinking-
that, don't they? They do need to stop that.
Whoa.
So when you take...
Can we
So
mute him? Mute him! Quick!
No, it's just stupid. It is stupid. No other game do you put
No,
2
it
pieces of
is
equipment on
stupid.
and do
It
it.
is
It's
stupid.
completely stupid. So when you take it off, it should, if you've got more than the maximum ammo,
Just take it off as well. Yeah.
just take it off. So, easy.
Hey, I'm just gonna kick Wigan.
Would you,
No,
would you say
I
we
agree.
get,
I agree with him.
It's just,
I agree.
it's just stupid that someone like us just take it as read. We're like, put 2 pieces on,
Yeah.
do it, and then,
It
do
makes
that.
somebody running with 2-piece Lone Star so much worse because we
Yep.
have the bonuses anyway. It's
That's right, yeah, and you explain that to guys. I mean, I had guys that came in with the 1.3 drop on PC, local guys who I know around here, and I was explaining that to them, and they were like, "You're joking?" I'm like, no, just put it on, restock, take it off, and rebuild, do your build. Like,
it's interesting they haven't taken that away. It is
but the
interesting.
extra ammo is part of the build. That's the thing, though. Like,
It's fine if you're wearing it, great,
yeah, exactly.
but if you're not, then you shouldn't get it. It's stupid.
But how would you implement it though? Would you say like as a punish, like if you do it within a minute? I mean, where's the
What? No, if you just take it off.
If you just take it off, you
It shouldn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference to your damage output or anything. It's just if you've got 1,700 ammo and your bag is now maximum 1,200, then make it 1,200 straight away.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
just
I agree.
it's just something that makes the game look amateurish for me. Something like that. What do I know?
I'm waiting for the next gear set that adds another 2 extra medkits so I can run with 11 medkits in the dark.
So, I mean, obviously Alpha Bridge wouldn't have contributed to your tactician very much, but has Alpha Bridge not been exciting for you in terms of being able to access the 6 talents? Has that not been a...
I don't really see the point of Alpha Bridge.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool that you can have 6 talents, right? And I assume that a lot of people are going to use that to get more talents such as Brutal, Vicious, Deadly, that kind of stuff to put more damage on their gun. But if you're going for damage, why not just go with Sentry? Sentry does a whole lot more damage.
Yeah.
I mean, for automated weapons, I guess it can be good. And there's one combination where you have the Caduceus, where it can really work because now every headshot with every assault rifle, you can get those cooldowns off the skill. That's really good. That's really cool, but it needs some sort of buff to be really viable, I think, because there are so many other gear sets that provide so much more.
It's just more options, isn't it? I mean, if you're in Dark Zone, if you've got different builds that work similar.
What I think they should be doing
great,
is unlock all the 6 talents regardless of whether you meet the requirements. That would make it really good, because then you can spec into different things. I think that would be a good enough of a change for me to actually consider it for some builds, because then I can get skilled, get all those talents that you have to be having the free slot, or else you're sacrificing too much. But then you can get those. And that would make it very interesting, I guess. But now you have to have them all 6, and you also need to have them unlocked, right? So
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. I thought it unlocked them all straight away.
No. You still need to have the requirements for all of them.
That's it. I'm deleting those sets.
No. You still need to meet the requirements. That's the thing, though. But how high are the chances going to be that you're going to meet requirements for 6 different talents?
You just won't do. You
need to have a perfect all-in-one build, basically, and at that point, so you need to have a balanced build, right? But at that point, you can't really go for damage anymore because you got to put so much things into electronics and stamina. So that completely defeats the whole purpose of that set being a damage-dealing set to begin with. So you might as well just go for sentries. That's the thought. That's what I think about it. It's gonna be good for cooldown reduction with Caduceus. Some weird niche builds, but it's not really a thing, I think.
Yeah, I was curious about...
And the best place for that is Falcon Lost, is it?
Yep, the best place for that is Falcon Lost.
Heroic.
Yeah, I was curious. If you look at the vendor reset this week, there's a little bit better than last week. But there was there's a Scar H in the terminal, in underground terminal, which has vicious, cool-headed, and capable. Yeah, vicious, cool-headed, capable. And I was thinking, I mean, again, it's not my build. I'm just experimenting and playing. I like playing. And I was thinking, if you had that Scar H, it's only a 182 by the way, but it's got the talents. Those 3 talents, and you had, say, your well-rolled M1A with an Alpha Bridge. I know that sounds overkill because you're just going Sniper City, but that'd be interesting to play with, to see what you can do. I don't know.
If you're playing Sniper, you might as well pick up Sentry. 50% extra damage. It's just you can't replace that. It's not just damage to you. It's damage that your teammates can do as well, extra, and damage that the NPCs can do. It's like a debuff on them, so to speak. So even if you what I used to do a lot with, or what I still do a lot in teams, is people wearing 2-piece final measure to counter the sticky, right?
Yeah.
But then I have, for example, Wits. I don't know if you know him. He's another player. He plays a lot with that pistol. He just shoots them in the head 3 times with the pistol, 3 marked, and I sticky them, and they still die, even with final measure, because they take so much extra damage. I think that there's just no place for what was the Alpha Bridge right now for, and then the 2-piece and the 3-piece bonuses are also really, really bad. 2 extra medkits and 100% health regeneration out of combat. It just does not compare to whatever the other gear sets can provide. I mean, of course, Nomad is even worse, and it doesn't add up to the damage build that you essentially want to go for.
Yeah, but don't forget though, you could put them on, get you 2 extra medic kits, and then take it off again and go back to sentries.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, if you're running an Alpha Bridge set, you're forced. If you're running an Alpha Bridge set, you're forced to run with a 3 or you need to have those 4 pieces. So
Yeah.
you're not getting any better secondary bonuses or anything like that. Like that's the reason why I think Reclaimer is so strong. 100% healing on the support station and 50% consumable duration. That's something good. Tacticians, skill haste 20% makes all your cooldowns go from 20 seconds to 17 seconds. You know that's good. Extra 4k skill power. But what am I gonna do with 2 extra medkits? Like, what am I gonna do with 100% health regeneration out of combat?
I can see when Wigan logs in, he spends the first 20 minutes just changing outfits to get his guy right, and then he heads in, and then the baby wakes up, and then we're again. We've got to start again, don't we, Wigan?
No, but how do you compare 100% extra health regeneration out of combat to 30% critical hit damage from strikers?
Well, for me, it's just experimenting, dude. I mean, that's from like my angle on it is that, like, for example, I know Binary, you've been a big proponent for the L86, right? I mean, you've had that under your wing for a while now.
It's amazing.
There's a sweet one. There's a 229 L86 right now in DZ03. I just looked this up because I was curious. It's got deadly, talented, and skilled. So you could probably roll skilled off.
Talented.
No?
I like skilled.
Yeah, skilled is like the thing.
Actually, sorry, yeah, that's what I meant. So roll talented off. What do you got? You got your 20. It's got 23% damage to targets out of cover. That's actually a pretty good weapon.
That's really low, 22%. I don't know. I wouldn't. That's like almost the lowest thing you can have.
Yeah,
Still better than mine.
But I'm curious about getting an L86. So.
I need to.
Well, you really know he's
L86
on
is
max,
brilliant.
isn't he?
I mean, what is the best place to get the 229 weapons? Is it to farm heroic? Is it DZ or is it to farm?
Yeah, definitely DZ. You get like if you're just roaming around, you said you were doing 7-man runs or something like that. You can get like a high-end weapon or a gear set item every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like DZ05, DZ06, and then there's a chest as well, which also have those things.
Yeah.
You know,
So these videos I'm seeing of farming the 4 horsemen and then quitting and then doing it again, is that just not time efficient then?
that doesn't work. They only drop loot once.
Yeah, it happens once. Yeah.
That doesn't work.
All right. Okay.
I don't know.
No, I thought I saw that you could drop the 229 loots off the 4 horsemen, reset the incursion, then go back in. No?
Yeah, you mean restart the incursion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the first encounter when you go in. So do that. Get
okay.
Get the loot off all 4 of those.
Then
And then
restart.
move on. Does it not work? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it does work. I just think that you're playing Dragon's Nest for the reward at the end, Reclaimer and Deadeye basically. If you're not going for Reclaimer or Deadeye, you might as well go for Falcon Lost or the Dark Zone.
I'm not going to sit there and replay that same thing over and over again.
So Falcon Lost then, because I went in it after the 1.3 drop. Had they changed the way that the APC hits the tunnel? The pit?
Yeah, I think it just hits you.
Yeah, haven't they?
It's not a big difference. I mean, you just stay away from there if you see a red circle.
Yeah.
Pit still works. Still the safest.
I've been doing. So you might be able to help me since you're the king farmer of heroic Falcon Lost. So I've been farming Falcon Lost this week on heroic, with about probably 3 different groups of people. And we've actually moved out of the pit, so we're not actually in the pit anymore. We're over to the left under the stairs, and we found that actually is that what you would do? Is that where you go, or do you sort of stick in the pit?
I think right side is what we do most of the time at the generators.
Right top, above the stairs.
I don't like left side simply because the mortar is very RNG whether it hits your team or not. You can you can have the red circle 9 times and then you'll be behind cover and it just does nothing. And then the 10th time you'll be behind cover and then just as always and then it hits you and everybody you get a wipe. We've actually been wiped twice on round 14 because of something like that.
I've had that. Yeah.
No, it's if you haven't had that, maybe it's because
I've had that.
Oh, you have.
It's
just we've been avoiding. It's completely random as far as we know. So we've moved away from that spot. It's something it's not coded properly or something. Because even when it's also pretty weird because it seems that when one person is taking damage from the mortar, everyone else is, even though other players should not have been taking damage. Because they weren't in the position. So we've had instances where we would sit on smart cover, people with 450k damage, 450k toughness, a lot of EDR. They should be able to survive a mortar shot, but then because one guy went down, the others also went down. There's something wrong in the coding, so we've just avoided left side. It's just the most random wipes you get there. Not good.
Okay.
Yeah, there you have it. And it's funny, you can see how passionate we are. I mean, I was sort of wrapping up to question time and then, just throwing out a random question that's completely not necessarily specific to Division. And we kind of went back there very quickly, didn't we? So it's a good thing, though, because we love the game so much. So, it's been good to be able to reminisce over that. Binary, do you have any other Twitch stuff that you want to talk to? So Twitter stuff or Twitch stuff you want to talk to? Or before we start to wrap up?
Just quick, I suppose we can do a quick plug for the big event that we've got coming at the end of the month. So we have. Do you want to do it, guys, or should?
You go. Yeah.
Okay. So our community grew at the end of June, in the lead up to 1.3 drop, with something called Gear Up Weekend. So we now have announced. And more content is a lot more coming. But on the 29th of July through to the 31st, we have Gear Up Weekend 2. We've got a lot of sponsors. Various, Marco's going to try and be involved as much as he can. We've got some X1 bros. We've got some Joker Unique. We've got some of the old RA guys. We've got, and even, believe it or not, we even have Massive themselves are going to pop in. They're also providing some loot giveaways, which is just going to be fantastic. So we're going to have pure 72 hours worth of streaming. We're going to have Discord is already set up and ready to go with bots and everything for everyone.
Elvin's like, what, 72 hours?
Yeah, whoa. It's not going to be 72 hours, mate.
It might be 2 hours for me.
It's going to be 48.
The dog old Elvin stuff, that's all he's going to have left after this weekend. He's going to have a couch, a dog, and a computer.
Yeah, as long as I keep the computer on me and the wife doesn't smash it up.
So it's going to be an absolute fantastic weekend, right? The last one was a hit. This one is just going to be even bigger. And I think now that the community, as far as content creation, has slightly shrunk. We're hoping to become a bit more of a pillar and really sort of set us up into a position that we have a big enough community now that we can then start expanding into other areas and other games and sort of bringing more content creators under the fold. So, DZR Weekend, Gear Up Weekend 2 is just going to be off the hook. And can I do my low video voice? But yeah, it's great.
Yeah, there's a cool video that Binary worked on for the announcement, so if you can check that out if you like. I'm sure Jantrax, our beloved CEO, so to speak, will certainly be pumping one out very shortly.
We're doing what?
Whoa.
What?
Is that why you got up at 5?
He's had a beer. He's had a beer at 5.
Yeah.
Should be ashamed.
Oh, I just can't wait for my kids to wake up so I can get away from.
Well, so they're going to wake up to a dad that smells of beer.
Yeah. Wretched father. He's been away all morning.
When they get up, make sure you're passed out on the jumping castle.
Yeah, but just make sure you took yourself back in after you finished.
With your pants on.
I got nothing to say. Just
you were going to pump one out.
Elvin has a remarkable way of making me shut up very quickly. But anyway.
You said it.
Yeah, the call-outs. But yeah, look, Binary, that was awesome. And because we know that what we've built and starting to develop and grow is only going to improve. So we've got more stuff coming that way. As I said, we've got Massive supporting us, which is just we got jacked. We were so excited the other day when we found out what we were going to get from being able to disperse some prizes and some activities, and we'll look at those giveaways, of course, on the Gear Up Weekend. But that said, I think that will probably bring us to a conclusion. Do you guys want to, sort of tell us where we can meet you, where we can find you, Binary? You're on Twitter?
So you can find me at Twitter at BinaryNum, and you can
Yep.
find me on YouTube at George Vancouver McKenna.
Awesome. Very good. Marco, where can we reach you at, sir?
I've got a pretty cool MySpace page. I think you should definitely hit that up. I
Too young for that. Too young.
I post monthly nudes of myself, and I always ask to share those so I can expand my reach with more people. I feel like I'm really doing it for a good cause, so that's where you'll find me.
Very nice, sir. And
Yeah.
of course, any your YouTube channel as well. It's always got some good activity.
Oh
there.
yeah, that's that side project thing. Yeah, no, that's no YouTube as well.
Side
Very
project.
Yeah.
Sorry, project. Elvin, what about yourself? Where can we hit you up?
You can follow me if you really must. Probably ain't tweeting much,
Stalk
but
me.
it's Elvinrush.
Yeah.
On Twitter and YouTube's Elvinrush as well. Just type Elvinrush everywhere. Apart from gaming, where I'm Lady Garden on PC.
What is that? I saw that on my Uplay.
Well,
Lady
I mean,
Garden.
if you
I'm
look
like,
at what do you think a Lady Garden is?
I don't know. That's why I'm
Oh, what's a
asking you.
lady's garden?
I'll
Why is
Google
it
it.
your name?
I'll Google it.
Oh, come on then. Yeah, Google it.
Don't need to Google it.
No, no.
You really don't. You really don't.
Google image it, maybe.
Urban Dictionary again.
There we go. I'm just looking for the expression on his face.
Oh, you want me to do the zoom in? Hold on.
Dong. 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 Okay. And of
And
course,
it's Elvin Rushy on PSN.
Evan Rushy, it is, that's right, Rushy. And my friend, where can we reach you?
Just the DZR Discord, I think. It's probably the best place to get all of us.
Yep.
So just join that.
Yep. We're always floating around.
Darkzone.com.
Very cool. As I
I'll
said,
need to trim my lady garden before I get into my bikini.
that moonwalking, isn't it? Like he's shuffling his feet.
Look,
Right.
Lady Garden's all our friends.
Of course, this comedy is not going to translate to the audio podcast, unfortunately. So if you are wondering what's going on, Marco has worked out a way to, to use his
Pan
webcam
across his face.
to pan
And
his
he's showing us Lady Gardens all the way through this.
Describing it's not very funny, but it's pretty funny to watch, I must admit. I'm Ogaz. You can reach me at OH_GAZ. Of course, we post content weekly, if not more so, on the DarkZoneReport.com. You can also follow us at Twitter at DarkZoneReport. Check out what we're doing, and we'll certainly be releasing much more information about the Gear Up weekend very, very soon. So we'll leave it there, my friends. Thank you, Binary. Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Elvin.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Wigan. As they say in Australia, ooroo, you bloody drongo. As they say
You
in the
dog
UK,
cunts.
guys, you in the UK?
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck off.
And of course,
Twat. You
Mr.
wanker.
Marco style, as they say in the Netherlands.
I don't know. What are we talking about here? I don't know what you're
Hey, do
talking
you
about.
offend somebody as you leave in the Netherlands? What would you say to really offend someone just as you walked away?
I don't really know. I'm a really nice person. I never offend anyone.
Oh, come on!
Okay, let me think of something.
I was just
No,
going
I
for your-
don't.
your
I
whole-
don't.
To be fair, the
just-
Netherlands.
all you
I
had
mean,
to
if
do
I
was friendly.
if
You're
I
allowed
wanna offend someone, I'll just punch them, right? Words
Oh,
don't
there you
hurt,
go.
man.
That's how
Punch
it's done
him, baby.
in the Netherlands, the Dutch way. I was just hoping you'd say see you later, and then I could sign off nice and clean, Marco. but
No,
you
no, I'm not gonna let you have that. No, no way. No way, man.
See you later. See you later.
No way.
Let's over there. Can we all say see you later on one?
Yeah, do it.
Double
Three.
Dutch rudder.
See you
See you
later.
later.
That wasn't on one.
Almost
That was like
not
that was
terrible.
like playing Dragon's
I mean-
Nest Incursion, guys. I said on one, and you all did it on like 0.
I didn't even hear. I didn't
See you
even.
later. We'll miss
Yeah.
it.
Right, I
There you go.
3. So on 1. 3, 2.
See you later.
See you later.
Oh, he came too soon.
I'm
Good job, you and your
recording.
garbage.
Fuck this. Alright, stop the recording.
Alright,
Recording. Everyone's uploading.
bye.